right, so check this out. Matt Murdock got one hell of an origin story. Kid gets blind as a boy by some freak chemical spill, right? But instead of, struggling to find his way around, dude's other senses go wild. He can hear heartbeats from across the room, tell if you're lying just by listening to how your breath changes. And get this, dodge punches before they land. He's basically Batman, but without the billionaire bank account. So now by day, he's a lawyer trying to make the city better with his best friend Foggy Nelson. But by night, whole different story. Matt's out here throwing hands, taking down criminals, moving like a shadow in the streets. Dudes don't even know what hit him. He got no name, no fancy suit, just black clothes, fists, and an unbreakable will. First case out the gate, Karen Page. Chick's in deep trouble. Works as a secretary for Union Allied. Stumbles on a money laundering operation. Next thing you know, framed for murder. She's got blood on her hands, not hers, and the company wants her gone. Matt and Foggy take her out of jail, but Matt, he's got a bad feeling, offers to let her crash at his place for safety. Does Karen listen? Nope. Homegirl sneaks back to her apartment in the middle of the night to grab some drive with evidence, and bam, some assassin dude jumps her. Matt saves her from the hitman. With help from Ben Urich, the last real journalist in the city, they blow the whole Union Allied scandal wide open. Karen's grateful, so she sticks around and becomes their assistant. The big players got handled. The Russian mafia, the Yakuza, the Chinese mob, every gang you can think of is crawling out of the sewers, seizing power. It's chaos. And in the middle of it, Matt Murdock. Oh, and while all this is happening, Matt's having flashbacks. His dad, Jack Murdock, a fighter, gets approached by some shady dudes, tells him to throw his next match. But Jack, he ain't about that life. Wants his kid to believe in him. So what does he do? Bets everything on himself and knocks his opponent out. Crowd goes wild, but that same night, bang, gunshot. Matt runs outside and finds his dad dead. Emotional stuff, man. But guess who else is taking notes? James Wesley, the right-hand man to a very powerful, very dangerous employer, is sweeping the scandal under the rug. He makes a call to the Russian brothers, Anatoly and Vladimir Ranskahov, and tells them about the masked dude messing up their operations. They gotta handle him. So what do? Kidnap a freaking kid, use him as bait. Matt shows up, ready to throw down. But the Russians, prepared. They wreck him. Dude barely makes it out. Next thing he knows, wakes up in a dumpster. Not a great look for a vigilante. Enter Claire Temple, the real MVP. Chick's a nurse. Finds Matt half dead, takes him in, stitches him up, and accidentally figures out that he's blind. But the real kicker? Dude still won't tell her his name. In trouble. One of the Russians comes looking for him. Matt hears his heartbeat spike. He knows the guy's lying before he even speaks. Claire plays it cool, stalls him. But Matt, he's not taking chances. He knocks the guy out, drags him to a rooftop, and starts breaking bones until he gives up the kid's location. Then, throws him off the roof, right into the same dumpster he woke up in. Claire's all scared, and she's like, is he dead? And Matt's like, he's alive. Matt barges into the building where they're keeping the kid, taking out the guards one by one. Epic hallway fight. Dude's bleeding, exhausted, barely standing, but still whoops every last one of them. Saves the kid, but the Russians, not happy. Meanwhile, Wesley's watching Nelson Murdock closely. Throws a huge paycheck at Nelson Murdock to defend John Healy, a stone-cold assassin. Foggy's like, dude, we don't defend killers, but Matt, he's thinking long-term. If they take the case, they get closer to the source, whoever's pulling the strings. Karen, she's getting offers to shut up big hush money from Union Allied, but she ain't that chick. Instead, she takes it to Urich, tells him there's more to the Union Allied story if he's interested. So Matt defends Healy, wins the case, but afterward, tracks him down in the streets. And Healy, man cracks, sweating bullets, spills the name Wilson Fisk, the real kingpin, the guy no one talks about. And then, Healy realizes he's dead no matter what, rather than wait for Fisk to come for him. Dude takes himself out. Fisk offers the Russians a deal, join him or get buried. Now the Russians, they're pissed. They want to end this mass freak. So what do? Track down Claire. They know she's helping him, and they're ready to make her pay. Matt shows up just in time, throws hands, and gets Claire out to there. The Russians agree to meet Fisk. Bad idea. Anatoly interrupts Fisk's fancy dinner date with this very classy, elegant woman, Vanessa Mariana. Fisk snaps, slams Anatoly's head in a car door until nothing's left. Brutal. Then, sends his body back to Vladimir in pieces. Now Vladimir, man's furious. But Wesley? Oh, he's smart. Twists the story. Makes it seem like the masked man, the very same dude who's been wrecking their business, was behind the hit. Just like that, now the Russians and Matt are at war. Fisk got the Russians, the Yakuza, and the Chinese triads all under his thumb, and he's making moves. Elena Cardenas, an old lady who's getting bullied by some rich scumbag, Armand Tully, who wants to evict her and turn her apartment into something overpriced and soulless. Classic gentrification. Foggy, being the good guy lawyer, marches right into Landman and Zach, the corporate big shot law firm where both he and Matt almost worked. And who does he find repping the other side? Marcia Stahl, AKA his ex. She's all, look, your client can take the money or get kicked to the curb, classic villainous lawyer move. Foggy's pissed, but it gets worse. While Matt's poking around, he hears dirty cops straight up murdering a Russian in cold blood. Matt tracks down Detective Blake, knocks him out cold, swipes his phone, and starts digging through it. Matt and Claire scrolls through info. Bingo! They find Vladimir, yet the last surviving Russian boss who still thinks he's running things. But Fisk? He's 10 steps ahead. He pays off Turk Barrett, yeah, that guy, the shady snitch in town, to feed Vladimir a little bedtime story. Hey, guess what? Fisk was the one who had your brother Anatoly whacked. Vladimir loses it, goes full war mode, starts rallying the last of his men, prepping to go after Fisk. And then, boom! Just like that, his whole army goes up in flames. Yeah, it turns out Fisk had Gao's workers rig the place with explosives. Next thing you know, it's raining Russians. Whole operation? Torched. Bodies everywhere. Somehow, Vladimir crawls out to the wreckage, barely breathing. And guess who's there waiting for him? Matt. But before they can have a little heart-to-heart, sirens start wailing. Next thing you know, they're surrounded by cops. But not just any cops, these are the dirty ones working for Fisk. And Fisk, he ain't just trying to arrest him. He wants Vladimir dead. Matt, he's not having it. Takes out the cops, every single one. Flipping, punching, dodging bullets. Dudes didn't even see it coming. Vladimir's barely standing, bleeding all over the place, but Matt's got questions that need answers. So he drags him to some sketchy abandoned warehouse. Meanwhile, Foggy and Elena Cardenas, caught up in the bombings, they need help. Matt calls the nurse chick to help him patch Vladimir up. And she's like, it's not as easy as in movies. And Matt's like, I don't really go to movies, you know? Still, she helps. And Matt, he's literally burning the wound shut with a flare. Yeah, we're talking full-on grit your teeth and scream type of deal. But then one cop shows up. Matt's about to take him down when he realizes this one's actually a good guy. Matt's like, hey, just say it's a false alarm, but dude, calls it in. And just like that, the whole damn warehouse is surrounded. Blake and Hoffman show up, acting like they're in charge, but really, they're just waiting on Fisk to call the shots. Fisk gets on the radio with Matt, like, yo, I respect what you're trying to do, but you're messing up my plans. And then, boom, Fisk pulls the dirtiest move yet. Sniper on the roof, shoots his own men, blames it on Maddie. Now, whole city thinks he's a cop killer. Vladimir, barely alive, but he knows he ain't walking out of this. He gives Matt one last name, Leland Owsley, the money guy, the one pulling all of Fisk's financial strings. And then, Vlad goes full action movie mode, guns blazing so Matt can escape. And just like that, another body drops. Matt's locked in, hot on the trail of Leland Owsley, the money man behind all of Fisk's shady dealings. He's this close to getting answers when bam, some old dude rolls up out to nowhere. Leland sees the opportunity, zaps Matt and escapes. Guess the old dude? Stick. Yeah, Matt's mysterious, grumpy, blind mentor from back in the day. The guy who trained him, sharpened his senses, and then bounced the second Matt got all emotional. Classic deadbeat ninja dad vibes. And now, Stick's back talking about some big bad weapon coming to New York. It's called Black Sky, and it's a big freaking deal. Nobu Yoshioka and the Japanese underworld are bringing it in, and Stick's all, listen kid, we gotta stop this thing Matt, still holding on to a tiny shred of morals. Make Stick promise no killing. Stick's like, sure, whatever you say, kid. So they roll up on the target, and guess what? Black Sky isn't some weapon. It's a kid, like a straight up little boy. And Stick, no hesitation, goes for the kill. Matt loses it, full on rage mode, full mentor v student throwdown. Fist flying, tables flipping, full anime battle sequence. The whole you abandoned me speech coming out in the middle of it. And for once, Matt actually wins. He's like, get out of my city. And Stick's like, there's hope for you yet. And just like that, poof, dude's gone. Meanwhile, Ben Urich is working with Karen Page, trying to blow the whole Union Allied corruption scandal wide open. But they need proof. Karen's digging deep, following some leads. She gets cornered by Tully's goons. Not looking good. But guess who shows up? Foggy. Yeah, my guy Nelson comes in clutch, helps Karen escape, and now they gotta tell Urich everything. Oh, and Stick? Yeah, he's still lurking. Later, he meets up with some mysterious, scarred-up dude. And the guy's like, will he be ready when the door opens and Stick just shrugs. I have no idea. Like, what kind of 8 Jedi prophecy nonsense is that? What door? Who's coming? I got questions, man. Karen and Foggy? They got a plan. And they pull Matt in, all like, we're gonna take down Fisk, man. But Matt, he's all fine, but we do this clean legal. No dirty tricks. And Karen and Foggy, they kinda agree. But let's be real, Karen's got that wild card energy and Foggy's just trying to keep up. Nobu, pissed. Black Sky was supposed to be their golden ticket, and now, gone. And Fisk? He's got bigger problems. Detective Blake wakes up. Yeah, the dude Fisk had sniped to frame Matt. Turns out he didn't die. And if he starts talking, game over. So Fisk sends Hoffman to tie up the loose end. Except, surprise, Matt crashes the party. He takes Hoffman out of commission, gets to Blake first. But man, Blake ain't built for this. Dude dies before he can spill everything. Oh, and if Fisk thought his day was bad before, now it's real bad. Gal rolls up all calm and terrifying like, Wilson, I like you, but if you don't clean up this mess, I may find someone else who can. And let's be real, you do not want to be on Gal's bad side. So what does Fisk do? Has a full-on emotional crisis. Vanessa walks in, and there he is brooding in his penthouse, staring out at the city. And that's when he drops his tragic villain origin story. Little Wilson, daddy issues for days. His father was trash, straight up used to beat his mom. One day Fisk snapped, took a hammer, whack. And that was it for Papa Fisk. Buried the body, cleaned up the mess, and never looked back. Vanessa, unfazed. In fact, she's into it. She's like, Wilson, you gotta own this. Stop hiding, go public, take control of your city. And Fisk, he listens. He holds a press conference, puts on his best respectable billionaire act, and suddenly he's the hero of the city. And just like that, all of Matt's new evidence, gone. Karen, Foggy, and Urich, frustrated but focused. They need something, anything from Fisk's past that could blow this whole operation wide open. Matt decides to go straight to the source, Vanessa. He swings by her fancy art gallery, thinking maybe he can get inside her head. But plot twist, Fisk is already there. And let me tell you, awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. It's like walking into your ex's wedding reception, except your ex is a crime lord and really wants you dead. Meanwhile, Nobu's getting impatient. This dude wants his real estate deal. He and Fisk made a handshake agreement, but now he's like, where's my city block? Fisk, ever the businessman, hits him with the you can have it. But first, handle my mass problem. Now the city block, it's where Elena Cardenas lives. Sweet old lady, just trying to keep her home, keep her people safe. But Fisk, he doesn't do negotiations. Cardenas gets taken out by some random junkie. But Matt knows this wasn't some random crime, this was Fisk. So what does he do? Goes hunting. Tracks Fisk down to some sketchy abandoned warehouse, real villain lair vibes. And that's when he meets Nobu. And yo, Nobu does not play. This dude is straight up ninja tier, flipping off walls, tossing Matt around. He's not winning this one. They're slicing through wood beams, Matt's getting wrecked, he's bleeding out, barely standing. And then bam! He turns the fight around when Nobu's weapon hits metal. Sparks fly, Nobu catches fire, like a full-blown Human Torch. Man, that was awesome. Matt, stumbling, barely breathing, but alive. But hold up, Matt doesn't even have a second to breathe. Because guess who rolls up? Fisk. And this dude's furious. They both were supposed to finish each other, but now, he's gotta do it himself. So he proceeds to beat the absolute hell out of Matt. Matt is barely conscious. Oh no, they're about to end him. But Matty dodges bullets, jumps out a window, and limps his way home. And then collapses right in front of Foggy. Foggy sees him, horrified. And then, unmasks him. Finds out the truth. Matt Murdock is the masked man. Matt wakes up and he's like, did you sew me up? And Froggy's like, nah, your nurse friend Claire did. After you took a swing at me? And Matt's like, I don't remember, sorry. And Froggy's like, she was crazy, stupid, fine. And then comes the showdown with Foggy. It's that you lied to me, bro talk. Foggy's standing there, looking at Matt like he doesn't even know him anymore. And he's like, dude, you're blind. You're supposed to be blind. And now you're out here flipping off rooftops and fighting ninjas. What the hell, man? And Matt, man, tries to explain. Lays it all out. He tells him about Landman and Zach, how he saw how broken the system was, how monsters walk free every day, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So one night, he took matters into his own hands, started cleaning up the city himself. Meanwhile, Ben Urich got his own problems. His wife's sick, the hospital's cutting him no slack, and instead of doing real journalism, his editor's trying to turn him into a clickbait puppet. Dude's had enough. He's this close to dropping the whole Fisk investigation. But Karen, she's not about to let that happen. She drags him to this rest home. Oh, you need to see this. And meet Marlene Verstein, Fisk's actual mother. And what does she say? Just casually drops, oh yeah, my son, he totally murdered his dad. That's huge. That's headline news. That's game over for Fisk. Meanwhile, Fisk is out here playing philanthropist, throwing this fancy gala, making himself look like good guy. And just when you think he's about to win, someone poisons the entire party. Vanessa goes down. The guests dropping like flies. And Fisk loses their mind. Foggy listens to what Matt has to say, and then he walks out, just like that. Nelson Murdock done. Vanessa still being in the hospital. Fisk refusing to leave, which means his right-hand guy, Wesley, has to handle all the loose ends. All right, so Matt's still all banged up, but hey, he's still breathing, so that's a win. Claire, she's done. She's passed him up one too many times, and now she's like, look, I like you, but I'm not trying to be your personal ER. Get yourself some actual protection before you end up in a body bag. Just like that, she dips. So now Matt's thinking, okay, maybe she's got a point. Enter Turk Barrett, AKA the shadiest dude in Hell's Kitchen. Matt rolls up on him like, Turk, I need a guy in Turk without missing a beat. It's like, I know a guy. That guy is Melvin freaking Potter. Now, Melvin's not just some tailor sewing up fancy suits. Dude's a genius with armor. Problem is, he's making it for the wrong people. Fisk got him making top-tier armored suits. But Matt rolls up like, listen, big guy, I'm not here to fight you. I just need some gear that'll stop me from getting turned into roadkill. And Melvin, man's a walking contradiction, built like a linebacker, but soft as a marshmallow when it comes to his parole officer, Betsy. Agrees, on one condition you take Fisk down, you keep Betsy safe. Meanwhile, Karen, still not letting go of this Fisk thing. She's got the golden ticket, Marlene Verstein. Karen's ready to go full exposed mode. But Urich, he's a little more cautious. He's like, look, I believe you, but she's old, her memory's shaky. This won't hold up. Wesley finds out Karen and Urich visited Fisk's mom. So he rolls up on Karen, all cool and collected, hits her with the classic bad guy move. He's like, Karen, let's be smart here. Walk away. Otherwise, your friends, your family, they start disappearing. But see, he makes one mistake. Fisk calls, Wesley's phone rings, and that 1 second of distraction, that's all Karen needs. She grabs his gun and points. Bam! Wesley, dead. Karen, shocked, she just killed a guy. And now, she's got a whole new problem. Fisk, spiraling. His men find Wesley's body and dude is devastated. I mean, Wesley was his guy. His fixer, his right-hand trusted, get things done dude. And now, gone. But Fisk, he ain't stupid. He figures out that the last person Wesley talked to was his own mom. So now he's all paranoid, he starts shipping off everyone he cares about to keep them safe. Fisk's like, babe, you gotta leave. It's too dangerous. But she's like, nah, I'm ride or die. Fisk's like romantic, but bad decision. Still, he gets Marlene Verstein out of there. Cause the last thing he needs is his own mother running her mouth again. Foggy, dude's still doing his own thing. He's working with Marcy Stahl, the ex-chick, piecing together whatever dirt they can find on Fisk. And Karen? Not okay. She's got, I just shot someone trauma. But she ain't stopping. She pushes Urich to write the Fisk story, get the truth out there. And Urich, he finally caves, marches into his editor's office like, boom, here's your headline. Ellison, his editor, shuts it down. Urich's like, you gotta be kidding me, and Ellison, I don't make the rules, man. So Urich snaps, accuses him of being on Fisk payroll. And just like that, fired. But Urich, he's old school, never say die type. Dude's like, fine. I'll start my own blog, break the story myself. Meanwhile, Matt's on a mission. Thanks to some intel from Urich, he tracks down Madame Gao's heroin empire. And we're not talking about some small-time street deal. Nah, this is big league, international operation type stuff. And man, Gao, she ain't your average crime boss. This old lady throws hands. Matt's thinking she's like 90. How hard could this be? But uh-oh, she knocks him flat with some ancient martial arts move straight out of a kung fu flick. But Matt, He fights through her goons, wrecks her whole setup, and dismantles her entire operation. Gao meets Leland. Turns out, they were the ones who poisoned Vanessa. Gao's like, you know what? New York's getting a little too crazy for me. I'm out. Time to rethink my life choices, and just like that, she's gone. And Fisk? He's got eyes everywhere. One of his snitches at the New York Bulletin lets him know that Uric went to see Marlene. So Fisk pulls a home invasion. Dude busts into Uric's apartment, and man, this scene, it's rough. Uric tries to talk his way out. He's done talking, he kills Uric. Just like that, one of the last honest reporters in the city, gone. Now, here's where things get real messy. Matt and Karen pull up to Uric's funeral, and man, it's heavy. Like, this dude, one of the good ones, stood for the truth, didn't deserve this. Karen's looking like she's got unfinished business, and Matt, he's got that someone's gonna pay for this energy. Meanwhile, Fisk is losing it. He finds out Owlsley and Gale went full Game of Thrones and tried to poison Vanessa. Why? Because they thought she was distracting him from his big boss moves? And Owlsley, dude's got a backup plan. Turns out, he's been hiding Detective Hoffman, the last cop alive who could expose every dirty move Fisk ever made. Smart move. Until it wasn't. Dude tries to blackmail Fisk like, hey, big guy, maybe don't forget who's got dirt on you. And Fisk? Man doesn't even hesitate. He eats Owlsley straight down an open elevator shaft, like he's taking out the trash. Back to good guys. Matt and Foggy? Yeah, they finally squashed their beef. All the you lied to me and I had the drama? Over, they shake hands, look each other in the eye, and they're back in business. But now, it's war. Matt, suited up, tracks down Hoffman with a little help from Stahl. And Hoffman, dude's been laying low, sweating bullets, hoping nobody finds him. But Matt finds everyone. He convinces Hoffman to flip. And then, FBI rolls in, full-on SWAT-style raid. Fisk's empire crumbling. They're snatching up his crew, dragging his co-conspirators into custody. The whole operation's going up in flames. But hold up, Fisk? He ain't done yet. On his way to federal custody, his mercenaries and dirty cops come through like some Hollywood action sequence. Next thing you know, Fisk is free. Dude's making a run for it. But guess who's waiting for him? Matt, in his new suit. Yeah, my guy finally upgraded from dude in black sweats to full superhero mode, thanks to that fresh custom armor made by Potter. It's go time. And man, what a fight. This ain't just a regular throwdown. This is brutal. Fists, elbows, blood everywhere. They're beating the absolute hell out of each other. Fisk, dude fights like a tank. Powerful, smashing through everything in sight. Matt, faster, smarter, more precise. But in the end, Matt wins. He leaves Fisk on the ground, battered, broken, and done. The cops roll in, and Fisk, he ain't escaping his time. And just like that, Fisk locked up. Vanessa, she skips town. The city's safe, for now. Foggy, Karen, and Matt, back at work celebrating. And the media, yeah, they finally got a name for the guy who saved the city, Daredevil.